Hello and welcome to the website consciousness.com. My name is David. The fact that you can spell consciousness, that's pretty amazing. I always say that normal people can't spell consciousness. The website's in two parts. One part is about clouds and cloud visions. And I happen to be blessed with this kind of a sight where I see lots of things in the clouds, and I realized that I could photograph them quite delightfully. And so I have galleries of cloud photographs. I have things like a little white rabbit, which was the absolutely first one I ever photographed, which is kind of like Alice in Wonderland kind of thing that got me started. And like Alice, I have found the sky to be a total wonderland for my active imagination and my explorative curiosities. I think that got me started on this. I have flying horse, I have different things, the beautiful angel, lots of cloud images. And what that has to do with consciousness, you'll see, I think, that they are cloud-veiled thought forms, a level of kindergarten clairvoyance. And most people have this little kindergarten clairvoyance, and most of us don't realize it. So cloud visions on one part of the website. Now the other part of the website is about the universe and different fields in the universe and how they relate to consciousness that humanity has attained so far, and the different levels of consciousness that humanity will ascend into as they get into what I call celestial consciousness. Now just imagine a bunch of kids rolling down a hill, doing somersaults down a hill, and maybe remember yourself doing this, falling down, rolling down hills, and getting dizzy and standing up and laughing and all those kind of things. It was always a fun experience, right? Okay, now jump up a little bit higher. Think about the whirling dervishes. Now they're doing spinning and curved motions in their dances, and they seem to be able to alter their consciousness through this spinning and curved motions. What if, I asked myself a long time ago, what if the spinning, that you actually make a centrifugal field of energy, an ethereal field of energy, that when you're spinning around, you might stop the video right now and spin around a few times and then stop, so you make one of these centrifugal fields. Okay, now that you're back, what if the centrifugal fields are something to do with consciousness, like through the whirling dervishes, and it's not much of a jump, it's just like a small cosmic leap to think about the motions of the celestial bodies in the universe, like our Earth, our Sun, and the galaxy that we're in. Those celestial bodies are all going in spinning and curving motions too. So it seems available to the human awareness now that these spins and orbits of these cosmology of the universe, the Earth, the Sun, and the galaxy, those fields are available for expansion of our consciousness. And they're actually there for us to take full advantage of. And with the saying that there's nothing new under the sun, that the fields of the Earth, the spin and the orbit of the Earth, are very, very, very dense, they say there's nothing new under the sun, so we go over the sun to find the new, right? It doesn't mean that there's never nothing new. It just means you have to go over the sun. So when you decide to turn around and look up beyond the sun with your spiritual explorations, your meditations, all your practices that you do, start to think of the fields above the sun, then you start to be able to go into them. And I've been finding certain little techniques that I use that I put into the website here, so you can take advantage of any kind of my research. I call it research. It's pretty much a fun game to go into these fields. So first, that for some reason we've been hanging out unconsciously in these really dense fields of relationship patterns, this animalian territorialism, this pecking order stuff, and we've essentially been born into spin, not into sin. You've got to keep the faith that this benevolent universe has fields below the sun that we've been stuck in, and there's fields above the sun that, as we're loosening ourselves up from these dense ones and start to move into these more subtle ones, we get what we are looking for. Levels of relationship patterns that will liken ourselves to, heck, being in heaven, where humanity is blossoming in all different levels of our individual and spiritual collective beings in these different fields that are above the sun. And they're passing through us all the time. But you got to keep the faith. I don't know why we've been stuck in these fields, these dense fields. Maybe that's something for somebody else to figure out. We have been stuck here. Look at human history. But the fact that some people accidentally and through some kind of practices bump out of it and get into higher fields is proof. Benevolent universe is totally benevolent. The ascension of our consciousness has been primed from the beginning, and we are going with that. And for those of you who really like to explore, you know, we've been everywhere on the planet just about, but people who really do like to explore, what this optimistical universe seems to be opening up, I'm finding in some of my early meditational explorations, it opens up this possibility. And I'll put it into my own words. You might have your own words for it. It seems to me like my personal genetic, the energy of my genetic, when I meditate into these different fields, I meditate with my genetics. I kind of like put my genetics into these fields, and my genetics does what genetics always does. It takes the available material of the world it's in and builds itself a body. So I'm finding that when I go into these different fields, universal fields, I'm getting what feels like a body of light in each of these fields. And it's allowed me to do some kind of travel in the space of the universe. Because it's been happening a little bit, now we can do it actually consciously. Because now we've got this little map here of the centrifugal fields. And that will allow the easier conscious ascension. I call it conscious highness. So I say that if you keep the faith that we're in a benevolent universe and that we're moving into higher levels of it, and thus higher levels of ourselves, it's a very healthy thing to, and it's the truth. The fact that you can spell consciousness, that's pretty amazing. I always say that normal people can't spell consciousness, so when I tell them to come to my website, I always have to spell it out for them. So the normal people can't spell it, then there's people like us. You know, we're like explorational people, and we're exploring into consciousness. A lot of philosophies will take you out on a limb until you're grabbing onto that limb so tight and you can't let go, and you think you're getting high because of your fear of letting go of this limb that you're on. I'm going to take you out to the limbs, and I'm going to teach you how to fly. I'm going to teach you how to let go of the limb so that you won't need the optimistical universe idea anymore, because you'll be working in those different fields, enjoying those different fields, and expanding through them because they're ever new. Okay, that's where we're headed. If all I can say to you is unfasten your seat belts. We're about to take off. And if you want to get back to consciousness.com, I think you just have to push your back button on your browser, take you back, and then you might get into the website a little more.